Hi, we are Holly and Susanna from Revelry Events, and we are here to give you our top tips on how to find your perfect venue.
Whatever you've got in mind, we've got some tips to make sure that your perfect venue doesn't become a nightmare. Yes, look, we know budget is the least exciting part of planning a wedding, but unless you've got Beyonce style millions, it's something you're going to have to think about throughout, especially when it comes to booking your venue, which is pretty much the first big chunk that goes. So here are 3 things we recommend you as your venue.
Number 1, ask about corkage. A term you're highly unlikely to have heard of unless you're actually planning a wedding, but what it basically means is that if you want to bring in your own alcohol to your reception, your venue may charge you per bottle opened.
Number 2, do you have a preferred supplier list? It's something that a lot of venues do have, and all it really means is suppliers they've worked with before, they get on with and that know the venue. Often it's really helpful because you've got someone to choose from that has been vetted by the venue. But if you already have a supplier in mind that you want to bring in, you need to check that you're not going to incur a charge for doing this.
And finally, does your quote include VAT? It's always worth asking and making sure that every single quote you receive includes tax so that you don't get any nasty surprises later on.
Most venues are really helpful, very flexible, and they want to make sure you have a great day, but there are a few things that's worth checking with them.
First of all, viewings. You may have booked your venue a year in advance and it's extremely easy to forget what everything looks like, how big it is and what you want to do with the space. So make sure you check with your venue when you book how many times you can come back between now and the wedding day to make sure you get the look and the flow of your day right.
Secondly, accessibility. You want to make sure that you can get in on the day, on the time that you want to be there. You don't want to be rushing around.
Now we know it's no fun to think about what happens after the wedding is over, but there are still a few bits and bobs that you may want to think about in advance to make your life easier and avoid any post-wedding stress. Almost every wedding we do involves some stuff that needs to be left behind after the wedding to be picked up later by friends, family, suppliers, or even yourselves. Make sure you confirm with the venue what can be left, where it can be left, and how long you can leave it there. Never assume anything when it comes to the great British weather. Even in the height of summer, you are going to need a plan B. Speak to your venue about what wet weather options are available to you to make sure you are covered, literally.
Plan B aside, we've got a couple of other tips as well. Firstly, find out if you've got exclusive use of the venue or if you're going to have to share it with other couples or even members of the public. Check the sound curfew. If you like to go a little bit later, sometimes you can pay a small fee to the council to extend it by a few hours. And finally, don't assume that you can have candles. Quite a lot of venues have a no open flame policy, so if you've got a Pinterest board that's full of candlelit weddings, you definitely want to ask that question.
So those are our top tips on how to find your perfect wedding venue.
You can find more tips on our YouTube channel or get in touch with us. We'll have a cup of tea and a chat and see how we can help you find your perfect venue.
Thanks for watching.